Hi, it's Paul Maunder from Production Expert. This video is a heavily condensed version of the longer video which I made demonstrating a post-production process. In this video, I'm just going to highlight some of the processes which went into that. Here we have a session, which is a corporate video. I won't play too much of it. Let's just play a tiny little bit. This is in its unmixed form.
What it's managed to do is it's managed to put together, in my mind, some of the best categories.
Okay, so one of the processes is to actually get the dialogue into the right sort of level. So to do this, I've got New Gen Viz LM on the master, and basically I would go through listening to the dialogue, clip gaining it.
It's a food business with technology.
And I'm trying to work to a loudness standard. I've chosen -23 LUFS. So I generally look for a short term, which is around that level. So I'd go through all of the clips and do that process. However, if you want to do it a lot more quickly than that, and if you've just got simple dialogue, you can actually save a lot of time by clicking on the ARA plugin selector and choose Dyne Assist. And this is an auto leveler. You can see it's actually already doing its job. So it's leveling out all of the dialogue to a target loudness level, which happens to be set from when I previously used this, which is -23. And now if we play this audio, assuming we've got no volume automation in place, this is now going to be about at the right level.
Noah specializes in architecture and technology, and then digital brands. And
across the course of that, that should average dead on -23. So the next process is to actually denoise some of these. So there's lots of ways we could do this. One of my favorite plugins is Hush Mix. So if I preview this, I'm just going to reduce it a little bit.
It's a food business with technology.
There's the noise.
Because usually you have one or the other.
So generally I would set that. And in this case, most of the clips are similar in background noise level. So let's just select a batch of them, apart from the last one, which I'll show you something separate with, and we'll just render these, making sure we've selected create individual files. Now that's done, just as an alternative, different means of reducing the noise, we're going to go to this clip.
If you're looking to digitalize your business,
right click it, and I'm going to choose Spectral Layers, Edit, and in this case, I'm going to use one of the modules which is very good for dialogue noise reduction, which is actually unmix noisy speech. Let's just close these other windows, preview this. There's the noise, or the dialogue.
If you want to digitalize and take...
When you click apply, it will separate them onto their own layers. You'll see in the spectrogram we'll end up with two separate colors, one for the speech, one for the noise. You can see the speech is in pink in this case, the noise is yellow. So now we've got those layers over here. Play this.
If you're looking to digitalize your business, if you're looking to take
can reduce the noise
business into a whole...
Okay, so that's an alternative to that. And then ultimately I would put little fades at the start and end of these just to smooth them over. I've actually done some of the processes just so I can explain them in a quick and easy way. I've added on this track a simple high pass filter. Now you can use anything for this. I like the FabFilter Pro Q4. It's a very advanced EQ, but I'm using it in the most basic way imaginable here. Literally, I've just added that single thing. I would just get rid of that. The way you do this is on the left-hand side, click and drag. It's going to make it a low cut. Change the order of the curve or the steepness as needed. Change the Q. You can see that's affecting also how it slopes off. And then just set the frequency. I tend to put it below 100 Hertz, so maybe, I don't know, 90 or 100 Hertz like that, just to filter out any low frequency noise. Next, I've got the Pro Compressor. This is just providing moderate compression just to smooth things out. This is used in conjunction with the loudness meter, New Gen Viz LM, just to make sure that it's controlling the level whilst also still hitting the integrated loudness. Let's just play a section of this.
Some of the best categories of food and put them into a tech platform that allows the customer to...
Okay, so it's pretty good. You can hear I've added some sound effects. These are all from Soundly.
That allows the customer to do business very easy, and then
and they just sync with what's going on screen. In terms of the volume automation on the music itself, I've chosen to do this, well, in a couple of ways. Let me just get rid of this and just show you some of the processes. So one way is to draw the automation in manually. So you could do it by, for example, selecting a section here. You can see that's in a gap in the dialogue. We could ramp it up, and then we could just modify these little breakpoints. So what I like to do is use the grabber tool, add one in there, option click there to delete it, add another one in, option click again to delete another one. See how that sounds?
A full solution that we provide.
It's a food business.
And that works, but as an alternative to that, if you wanted to do it more of a real-time process, you could always do this in, say, latch mode with a little separate fader. If you've got a control surface, this is ideal. If not, the tearaway fader, which you open by clicking just to the right of the output selector there, then you can access this.
To a new market. So actually, it's a light integration we do, so there's not a heavy...
So I would go through the whole mix and do that process. Once everything has been done, The next step is to actually bounce the mix. Now, if you've been careful, your mix should hit or very nearly hit the target loudness level. So let's just open VisLM. The great thing about this plugin is that actually, when you do an offline bounce, it will still read it quicker than real time. It will give you the integrated. So as long as it's within, at worst, plus or minus 0.5 of the target level, but preferably a lot closer than that. I'm just going to call this V2 because I've already done a version of this mix. Let's do it offline. I've reset the meter. Click bounce. You can see it's scanning through minus 22.7. So that's okay. But if I really wanted, I could make some modifications just to get that closer to the target level. Also, as a final thing, just before New Gen VisLM on the master fader, I've put FabFilter Pro L2. And once again, I'm using this in a very simple way, simply to increase the overall level. So I'm creating a secondary version of the mix, which in this case is hopefully going to be very close to minus 18 LUFS. I've done that by carefully balancing this gain increase with the out level, and I've been careful not to go above minus 1.0 dB true peak. And I've applied some 24-bit dither as well, but that's up to you. Okay, so now let's bounce mix, V2, and then we'll call this minus 18 LUFS. Okay, and hopefully this will be at or extremely close to the integrated of minus 18 LUFS, minus 17.9. That's good enough. Okay, well, this was a condensed version of the longer video. There is a much more in-depth version, so check that out if you want to have a look, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.